Passing gas can be deadly.
Whoa. Oh, something's funky.
Passing gas releases a plume of toxic vapors.
Oh, honey, not in the car.
Like ammonia and hydrogen cyanide. And lethal poisons that can linger even when windows are open. Kids shouldn't be exposed to secondhand smoke. Don't pass gas, take it outside.
I'm Sonya.
I'm Ebong.
And I'm Kate, and today we're dishing with you from Teatro Goldoni, located at 1909 K Street Northwest, and we are some of the very first to be sitting at Teatro's brand new chef's table.
I'm ready.
And our guest is Jim Epstein, who is the chairman of GreenWorks, DC GreenWorks. And what is DC GreenWorks, and why do we need that in the city?
Well, DC GreenWorks is what I call a common good enterprise. Okay. We are focused on dealing with stormwater issues in Washington, D.C. And so we deal with green roofs, we work with rain barrels, rain gardens, policy issues around stormwater management issues in Washington, D.C. and the region.
The things you just mentioned are things we hear about all the time, but we hear about them in the newspaper, on TV. We have no idea what those things really are. Okay. Rain barrel.
Rain barrel.
It's a barrel of rain. I mean, come on.
Well, okay, well, we'll start with the rain barrel. Then the rain barrel is really, literally a barrel that is attached to your downspout, and the intent is that it fill up with water and then release it slowly.
And why do we need them?
Because in a typical rainstorm in Washington, D.C., all of that water will run immediately into the stormwater system and then into either the river or into the place where we process that water.
And that's bad because?
Well, it's what happens is that in your typical natural environment, the water gets absorbed into the ground and then slowly releases into the river. So when you have all of the impermeable surfaces that we have in Washington or in any city, all of that water is sort of hitting those impermeable surfaces, then immediately going into the stormwater systems and immediately going into the rivers.
And carrying all that pollution and all the things on the ground and the sidewalks. I see.
And one of those things is actually hotter water, because the pavements are heated up, the roofs are heated up, so that water that goes into the systems is hotter than the normal,
which affects
ecology,
our ecosystem.
and it affects the ecosystem.
Well,
exactly
and don't
right.
most of the, and I don't know about DC, but the DC water purification, what is the official term for that?
WASA, right?
The sewer system that the sewer system that we have in Washington, D.C. is what's called a combined sewer system. So that means that all of the sewer and the stormwater are in one system.
And there are no pumps for that. It's all gravity?
It's all gravity.
Okay.
But the challenge is that because it's combined, that means that the Blue Plains plant that's on the Anacostia River has to process both the sewage and the stormwater.
Wow.
Now, if you imagine in the summertime when you have a major storm, there is an awful lot of water that's being managed.
Right.
And in fact, it's so much water that the sewage treatment plant can't handle it. So what happens? It goes immediately into the river, untreated, the sewage and the stormwater. So as a result, the Anacostia River is the second most polluted river in the country. So as a result of that, the district is now under court order to solve that problem. And the way they're planning to solve it is to build these underground storm tanks. The tanks there are two of them, and each one is the size of a metro station. So imagine two underground storage tanks that are the size of two metro stations holding that much water. There's a modest price tag of about $2.2 billion on today.
Wow.
Now, I'm sure that by the time they actually build it, it's going to be more than that.
Is DC ahead of the game on GreenWorks, or are we really playing catch up?
That's a great question. The district actually has done a number of things that really put us in the leading edge of cities in the country for green roofs and this particular area. Chicago is doing a tremendous amount. Seattle is doing a tremendous amount. So we have, we're going to keep the pressure on them.
Well, let's back up and go back to green roofing, because we didn't really talk about that. We explained what a rain barrel was, but what is a green roof?
Well, a green roof is the vegetated material that goes on top of a typical roof. So if you have to replace your roof, which you need to do about every 20 to 25 years, you would put a new roof on it, and then on top of that, you put the whole infrastructure system to hold a green roof. And basically, a green roof is a couple of layers of root material and drainage and so on, but then on top of that, about 4 inches of soil, and then sedums or other kinds of plants that have an ability to tolerate drought.
So it's like
because
a
you're
garden.
not up there watering them on a regular basis.
So it's like a self-sustaining garden on your rooftop.
Correct.
And why would you want that? To help purify some of the water coming through?
That is absolutely one of the things that it does. It reduces the heat island effect, so some of that water that's held there re-aspirates into the environment.
Probably helps insulate your house,
Right,
too,
that's what I was thinking.
And
Keeps it
insulation
cooler
of the
and
house
warmer.
is another benefit. It also slows down. So when I talked earlier about how the water immediately goes out and down into the drain, it actually holds about the first inch of rain, so that it has a beneficial effect for the rivers in that all that water is not going immediately into the rivers. And then it's catching the pollutants, and it's fixing the nitrate, the carbon in there. And
Where can we see some of these green roofs? I'm thinking not in DC, but in Roslyn they have that Freedom
Oh, we have green
Park.
roofs.
Well, but I'm thinking in Roslyn there's that Freedom Park, and is that a green area?
I don't. It is
Well,
over.
it's not in DC, but-
The one you're talking about is over the Route 66, I believe, is the one you're talking about, the Freedom Plaza.
I think, yeah.
But anywhere where you have a hard surface underneath it is, in essence, a green roof.
Right.
The one that we have in the districts is at 1425 K Street, is the first green roof that was put on a commercial building in the District of Columbia. DC GreenWorks put that one on. The first one we ever did was in 2001 down on the pump station down on the Anacostia River, and many buildings that want to get LEED certification are now having green roofs put on them. Many residential units now do it, and one of the things that DC GreenWorks will do is advise about how to do it and make it work for them, and the kind of opportunities there are for individual family members, individual families to put green roofs on.
Wouldn't it be cool if there was like a bar with like an outdoor sort of grass
should
area, like it was a
enjoy
park, and then you could like sit there and
You should
just an
go.
idea.
You should go to the one on 1425 K Street, because they do. They're able to enjoy some of the space and then also look at the green roof. But DC GreenWorks is the leader in green roofing in DC, and I would say one of the leaders in the United States, because DC is probably a leader in green roofing.
It is.
So tell us, we're in a new year. Everybody's talking about green. I mean, they've been talking about green, but now they're really talking about green. What's our main project moving forward? What do you want us to take with us into 2010?
Well, I think every roof has in the Washington, D.C., 75% of the roofs have an opportunity to put a green roof on.
Wow.
So I think if you're serious about helping the Chesapeake Bay, and we're on the Chesapeake Bay, you should seriously consider a green roof.
Well, we'll be seriously considering it. Thanks for coming on with us.
Thank you.
And as always, thank you for watching this episode of The District Dish.